What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 20th day of October, and here we are sitting at about $2.45 right now. 7 hours, 42 minutes left in this day, this wonderful day here. Looking like we have found a low, and I want to be cautious in saying that because there is still a chance that between today and maybe the next couple of days that we do see some volatility. I very much do believe that we have found the low, and just thinking prospectively here into the future, the 29th of this month, right around literally this white line here, we're going to have the press conference for the Federal Reserve. The FOMC meeting announcement will be made. Jerome Powell is going to say that rate cuts are happening. Every single FOMC meeting that we've had this year, every single one of them, we have pumped into the meeting. Every single one of them. So the odds right there that we have found the low, that this is the low, are very good. The odds are very good. But again, I want to be careful with that because just because we found the low does not mean that we can't come down, right? We could find a higher low, something like that. We could shake out. Tomorrow could be a red day. You never know. We could come down by the end of today, the next 7 hours, and then tomorrow could be red as well. Just because we're calling for the low doesn't mean we're absolved of going lower. And I'm being specific on this because I don't want to see people make the wrong decision. I don't want to see people panic sell if we are to go lower. Likely what's going to happen is we form a higher low, if anything at all. Okay, it's very possible that instead of going lower at all to form a higher low, we just continue to rally though, right? Typically, we do rally going into these events. The 18th was here. The last FOMC announcement was on the 18th of September, and we rallied into this event. Now, did we top off beforehand? Yes. There were various reasons why we topped off beforehand, but we did top off beforehand, so don't just expect that we're going to move all the way up into this line, but we don't have to turn around right at it either. We could continue to rally. I do expect there to be some kind of sell the news event to happen. I do think that we'll get up here and we will have a sell the news event, right? Whenever the interest rates happen, the price action will be priced in, at least in the short term. We will come down, likely find support at a higher low, and then continue to rally. I think November is going to be an exciting month. I just wouldn't be surprised if the first part of November was a little bit of a pullback from the upcoming move that we have going into the end of October here. Okay, so just a little perspective as far as what I'm thinking over the coming weeks into the end of this month and the very beginning of November looks like. If we are looking at the short-term stuff, looking at the 1 hour time frame here, $2.45 right now. It's nice to see. We do have this kind of double top look right here at the moment on the 1 hour, but it's the 1 hour, so I'm not too caught up with that. The RSI does suggest that we might want to come down, right? Typically, whenever you get these upward sloping trends with higher lows and higher highs, they do end once you're in the overbought zone with bearish divergence, which we do have. We do have bearish divergence. No, we don't. We don't have bearish divergence, but that's okay. Rejecting the overbought zone right here on this little tip might provide some lower price action. That doesn't mean anything dramatic, but perhaps we could see prices back down to 241. We're at 246 right now, 241, maybe even 235. Perhaps even something as low as 230 or lower could happen. I do believe this is the low, but again, weird things can happen over the coming days. If we're looking at these liquidation levels on Bitcoin, I'm just kind of curious to see. Long dominant, 7-day time frame, pretty even. And then 30-day time frame, the shorts are dominant as well. A lot of longs piled on, but a lot more shorts. You know what? This is some of the least amount of leverage positions that I've seen in a long time. Like neither side has 20 billion. You're not even above 15 billion here, and you're not even above 10 billion here. I mean, that's pretty low levels overall. I mean, total. Let's see, it's 14 plus 7.7, so 14.8. That's $22 billion overall. I mean, that's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot of volume, but that's pretty low for a 30-day period for Bitcoin here. It's nice to see that people are taking their leverage positions off the table, right? That's kind of nice because that allows the price to grow or to move down either way, but I think that it will grow, and that's good for XRP. If Bitcoin's going to grow, that's good for XRP. Looking at, and actually, let's just see what people are thinking on XRP right now. What are we doing? Predominantly short, but pretty 50-50 split over the past 30 days. And over the past day, predominantly long. Over the past week, pretty split. Okay, cool. That's good. That's good. We like to see that. That's actually very encouraging. 1 hour time frame as far as the MACD is concerned, I think this looks positive. I think this is actually very good structure on the 1 hour MACD. The only negative to that, the only caveat there is that this is the 1 hour time frame. The MACD is less significant on the 1 hour time frame than anything else, but I have to admit, I'm pretty confident here after looking at all these indicators. I'm pretty confident that we don't go below $2.41. Or if we do, we wouldn't go below 238. Maybe I should say 238. We don't go below 238. Something in this area is likely where we will find support. We'll form a higher low, and then we will continue to rally. Of course, if we stay in this area, if we continue to consolidate going into the end of the day, there is the chance that we do just break out going into tomorrow, that we do just move higher. Again, the main focus here is that on the 29th, we have the FOMC announcement. So on that day, we're going to get some, up until that day, we're going to get some upward momentum going into that announcement there, okay? Looking at the 4 hour time frame, 4 hour here, the RSI is at a point to reject, right, at the overbought zone here. This adds, what's the word I'm looking for? Some validation, validity, adds validity to the idea that we do see some kind of a pullback here down to $2.38, $2.41, somewhere in that zone, and then we move up, form a higher low. I believe that will happen. The stochastics are hot, they look good, and the MACD is actually about to cross above the zero, implying exactly what I was just saying. What we've really said throughout this whole video is that the days to come will be bullish. Whenever you broke above the zero here, oops, that's not what I meant to do. Whenever you broke above the zero here, the coming days were bullish. This was, you broke above the zero on this day, the 29th of September, and you continued to rally. You topped off on the 2nd of October. So that was the next 3 days, continued to rally. Now, this is a bit weak compared to what I'm expecting. I think we'll be rallying going into the next week or two. But notice here how you did cross above, and as soon as you did, you consolidated, you pulled back, you formed a higher low, back tested prior resistance, and then you rallied. That's effectively exactly what we're calling for here. Back test prior resistance for support, and then rally. It makes a lot of sense that that's probably what's going to happen here, okay? Here, whenever we crossed above the zero, it was like right there. That was on the 7th of September. We continued to rally for a whole nother week after that, going into the 13th there. So I really do believe that the coming days, because this is the 4 hour time frame, every 6 candles is 1 day. I believe the coming days are going to be productive. That's what we're getting off the MACD. The stochastics are bullish, and the RSI clearly is turning a tide here as well, turning the tempo around. We're getting higher lows there with lower lows, bullish divergence. We are living above the 50 now. Hopefully we can persist and get overbought and resist the oversold areas, okay? Looking good. All those words to say, you're looking good, XRP. Looking like that was probably the low, and the call to go down to $2.10, $2.15, $2.05, anything and everything in that area, just above $2. I think that that's out the window. It's something we should still consider and perhaps pay attention to, right? And even accept, right? If that happens, that's fine. But again, I just can't see us, I don't see us making a flash crash move down here. And I also don't see us taking a week to move down here, right? I don't see either of those outcomes happening, because we've got this announcement on the 29th. We're going to be moving up into it. So I really do think that that was the low. And we've got a bunch of fear still, even though we're moving up, even though we're putting in lows across the board for various cryptos. I think we have found the low. I think that it's inappropriate to consider targets that are below $2.20 at this point. But again, still, if that happens, even if it happens, we're still fine. Find support there, move up afterwards. It's not a big deal, okay? I just don't see us moving down. Every FOMC meeting we've had this year, Bitcoin has moved up into that. I would assume altcoins are going to get a little leg up as well, because the idea here, again, the perspective that's going on is that the bear market's here. There's no more bull market. Bitcoin's going to go below 100K. Bitcoin's going to 70K. If you're listening to James Wynn or Andrew Tate, Bitcoin's going down to 26K, right? Like terrible, absolutely horrible downside price action. That's what people were worried about back here, right? People are still unsure right now, and I think we can see that in the total liquidation levels over the past 30 days for Bitcoin. This is some of the lower amounts of volume that we've seen for leveraged positions, at least that I've seen, and I've tracked this every single day. I just think that while the market is fearful, we're putting in lows, people are expecting the price to go down, this is the perfect time for us to move up. I forgot what train of thought I was going on there, but the perspective is shifting, right? The perspective is shifting, and if it shifts for Bitcoin, that's what it is. So if Bitcoin's moving up, and we validate that this is the low for Bitcoin, then that obviously means that all the people who are calling for lower prices were wrong. And all the people who doubted in the bull market, they were wrong, which means that potentially we have higher prices to go, and we do. We have more bull market to go. We're going to see new all-time highs. And when the average person shifts to that perspective, altcoins should see a little bit of a rebound too, right? They're only taking a dump because they're worried that there's a bear market coming on. But once that's a thing of the past, not anything to be concerned with, we're going to see this recovery in Bitcoin result in a recovery in altcoins as well simultaneously. That's all I'm trying to say. Daily time frame here, looking at the RSI, bullish divergence right there. I think every altcoin looks the same as far as this is concerned. Daily stochastics look bullish as well. I don't get it, man. I mean, you found support in an odd area. You rejected here. You're all over the place with the stochastics. You don't normally see this in these kind of dynamics, but whatever. You're doing it now. The price action is definitely tricky. Bullish divergence on the MACD and on the RSI. Let's just pay attention to that and consider that we are going to move up higher. Okay. Weekly time frame here. Zooming out. Okay. Absolutely massive trend. Absolutely massive consolidation phase here. Right. We're sitting on top of this huge move in this horizontal channel. Okay. Slips to the downside, slips to the upside, whatever. We slip out here and there. But overall, we are in a phase that we're just consolidating. And if you don't want to call it a horizontal channel, you don't have to. It could be whatever you want it to be. But we're in this consolidation phase now, resting atop of our prior cycle highs, bullish. Resting atop of our prior cycle highs, bullish, right? Or right in the midst of it there. Undoubtedly, we're going to see a higher highs, new all-time highs. We're going to see a massive breakout come. Okay, this consolidation, which has lasted basically a year at this point, right? Nearly a full year, 10 months at this point, is going to result in a fantastic breakout. Okay, here we're moving up. We had a nice trend. Overall, you're in this accumulative phase. This is overall one zone, and that led to this breakout. But really, we consolidated from like here in January 2024 until the end of the year, November, right there. We had a little block, just like we do now, right? We had a little block, just like we do now, and we saw this fantastic growth. I would expect that we get a very similar move. People are going to be blown away. They get blown away every single time, and I don't get it because XRP does it time and time again. Historically, this is all it does. This is how it moves. From its earliest days to its latest days, this is how it moves. Whenever it moves up, it moves very fast. It doesn't leave you time to think about getting in or getting out, right? And in these moments like this where people are indecisive, where we don't know if we're going to go lower or go higher, right? And I think we all know, if you're watching this channel, you know that the price is going to go higher. But the average participant doesn't know that. We're at a 30 level in the fear and greed index. Moments like this is when XRP really takes off from its current price areas, right? I would very much expect that we do see a massive move coming. XRP is destined by the end of this year to see something on the lines of a $13.56 price or higher, likely higher by the end of this year. And if you don't think that if you think that XRP can't do this exact same thing again, well, history is on my side with this call saying that yes, it will actually. Yes, it will. Maybe we don't move in a straight line like this all the way up to 1356, but I would bet that a large part of this move happens between now and the end of November, and then going into the end of the year, we'll probably crawl higher. Kind of like we did here, right? The large part of this move happened by the beginning of December, right here, throughout like November into the beginning of December, and then we actually topped off in January. So something like that, where most of this move comes up and then we continue to move higher. The top, though, is expected to be probably above $14. That'd be my guess, but I've got nothing else for you guys. I think I've said everything I need to say. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Take care of yourselves, all right? And just hodl. We are at this point in time, guys, where anybody not invested in crypto is going to be very sad. I'm actually talking to a lot of people in the real world, trying to get them involved and get them invested so that they are making money between now and Christmas and between now and the end of the year. It's a really good time to get into the markets, right? It's on us as crypto investors to be that annoying bug in people's ear, trying to get them involved, because what's going to happen here, guys, is if you have any friends, any family members, any colleagues who are interested in crypto, but they're just not sure right now because of the recent crash, what's going to happen is they're going to buy the high. They're going to hear about you having a good time. They're going to hear about everybody having a good time going into the end of this year with crypto, and they're going to buy the high. Help your constituents. Help them avoid that disaster. We all know what that's like, right? Have you ever bought the high before? I can't imagine what that's like, right? We've all been there, right? Most of us probably get into crypto at high points. That's our first taste of crypto, right? Most of us. And even if you get in at low points, sometimes that doesn't save you. I got in at a low point for my first taste of crypto, and I still lost money in my first, I guess with my first bear market. Anyways, help them. Get them involved now. Tell them time is of the essence. Be that annoying person. Be the person who knocks on the door and says hello. Do you have a moment to talk today about the good coin? I'd like to talk to you about XRP or Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever. Be that usher into the crypto space, because if there are people who are on the fence that you know in the real world who want to invest in crypto, if they don't have you or someone pushing them into it right now, they're going to wait until it's at a high point, until they're forced, the FOMO forces them into it. Help them avoid that tragic loss, help them have a good first experience with crypto. Get them in now. Get them in now, because we are about to take off. I'm talking too much. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Go out there and spread the good word. Bye-bye.